New York isn't just a city, it's an experience, a heartbeat, a place where stories begin, dreams unfold, and every street feels like the start of something new. If you've ever wanted to feel truly alive, these 10 places will show you why New York is like nowhere else on earth. Number 10. Fifth Avenue, where the world walks. Some streets are just roads, but Fifth Avenue is a stage, a runway, a dream dressed in motion. Running through the heart of Manhattan, Fifth Avenue has always been more than a shopping street. It's where history, fashion, money, and culture all meet and keep moving. In the early 1900s, it was lined with mansions. Then came the grand stores, the cathedrals, the museums. People strolled here not just to buy, but to be seen, to feel part of something bigger. From the Empire State Building to Central Park, every block carries a piece of the city's story. It's where parades happen, where holidays light up windows, where tourists and locals walk side by side, each with their own purpose, their own pace. On one end, you'll find luxury. On the other, art and nature. In between, there's movement, endless, elegant, electric. Fifth Avenue doesn't judge. It welcomes, it reflects, and it shines, not just with lights, but with life. It's not just a street in New York, it's where the world walks. Number 9. 9/11 Memorial, silence that speaks volumes. There are places where words aren't enough. The 9/11 Memorial is one of them. On September the 11th, 2001, the world changed. The Twin Towers fell, but what remained was something deeper: grief, unity, and the need to remember. Today, where the towers once stood, two deep pools of water flow endlessly. Names are carved into bronze, each one a life lost, a voice gone, a story left unfinished. The sound is soft, just water falling, but the silence around it says more than any speech ever could. Beneath it lies the 9/11 Museum, holding the memories, the photos, the twisted steel, and the last phone calls. It's not just a record of tragedy, it's a reminder of strength. People come here with flowers, with tears, with quiet, and they leave with something heavy, but important. This memorial doesn't ask you to understand, it simply asks you to feel. It's a space of reflection, of respect, of connection, between past and present, between loss and resilience. The 9/11 Memorial isn't about what was destroyed, it's about what remains, and in its silence, it speaks volumes. Number 8. The High Line, nature in the sky. Once, it was a railway, rusted, forgotten, raised above the streets of Manhattan. But today, it's something completely different. A park in the sky, the High Line. In the 1930s, freight trains ran through this track, delivering goods straight into factories. It was built to keep people safe, but when the trains stopped running, the tracks were left behind. Nature slowly returned, grass, wildflowers, even birds. And instead of tearing it down, the city chose to turn it into something new. In 2009, the High Line opened as a public park, a walking path above the city, lined with plants, benches, and art. Old steel beams still run beside you. New life grows around them. It's quiet up here, just footsteps, breeze, and the sounds of the city far below. You walk through neighborhoods, past buildings, between trees, and for a moment, it doesn't feel like New York. It feels like possibility. The High Line is proof that beauty can grow where no one expects it, that the past doesn't have to be erased. It can become something better. It's not just a walkway, it's a second chance, a garden built on memory, a reminder that even in a city of concrete, nature always finds a way. Number 7. Top of the Rock, the city in full view. Sometimes, to understand a place, you have to see all of it at once. That's what happens at the top of the rock. Sitting above Rockefeller Center, this observation deck has one of the best views in all of New York City. From here, you see everything: the Empire State Building, Central Park, the Hudson River, and the city stretching far beyond. But this view isn't just about distance, it's about perspective. Built during the Great Depression, Rockefeller Center was a symbol of hope when times were hard. People came here looking for jobs, for light, for something to believe in. And when the tower opened, it became a place to look ahead, to rise above fear. Today, millions visit the top of the rock not just to take photos, but to feel something bigger. From up here, the city feels different. Still loud, still alive, but somehow peaceful. The chaos becomes beauty. Sunsets turn the buildings gold. Nights bring a sea of lights. And for a moment, everything feels still. The top of the rock reminds us that even in the busiest place on earth, there's always a higher view, a way to step back and see the whole picture. Up here, New York doesn't just look endless, it feels endless. Number 6. The Met, art that speaks without words. You walk through its doors, and suddenly, time slows down. Welcome to the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, a place where the past speaks, even without a single word. Opened in 1870, the Met was built with one simple idea: to bring art to everyone. And now, it holds over 2 million works from across the world and across centuries. Paintings, armor, sculptures, ancient temples, each piece tells a story. Some are loud and proud, others are quiet, waiting for someone to stop and listen. You can stand face to face with a pharaoh, trace the brushstrokes of Van Gogh, or look up at ceilings painted with dreams. Here, art isn't locked in the past, it's alive. Generations come and go, but the pieces stay, reminding us who we were and who we still are, reminding us that beauty, pain, and imagination connect us, across time, across culture, across language. People come to the Met to learn, to feel, to escape, and sometimes, to find a piece of themselves in the eyes of a figure carved thousands of years ago. It's more than a museum. It's a voice, for those who had none, a memory, for those who came before, a mirror, for everyone who walks in. The Met doesn't need to speak. The art says it all. Number 5, Broadway, the stage of dreams. In a city full of noise and motion, there's one place where everything stops, and the lights go up. That place is Broadway. For over 100 years, Broadway has been the heart of live theater, a place where stories come to life, not on a screen, but in front of your eyes. Real voices, real emotion, no second takes. It started with small performances in the 1800s. Today, it's a world stage. From classic musicals to bold new dramas, Broadway doesn't just entertain, it moves people. Actors from all over the world come here with one dream: to be on this stage, to feel the crowd go quiet, to hear the applause rise, to be part of something unforgettable. Even if you've never seen a Broadway show, you've felt its reach. The music, the stories, the energy, it spills out of the theaters and into the streets. It becomes part of the city's rhythm. Broadway reminds us that imagination still matters, that storytelling is powerful, that in the middle of a fast, digital world, there's still magic in a live moment. It's not just theater, it's the stage of dreams, and they're still being written, night after night. Number 4, Central Park, a breath in the chaos. In the middle of steel, glass, and endless motion, there's a pause, a deep breath. That breath is Central Park. Opened in 1858, it was the first public landscape park in the United States. Designed not just for beauty, but for balance, a green space for every New Yorker, no matter who they were. In a city that rises fast and never slows down, Central Park remains still. Wide lawns, quiet trails, lakes that reflect the sky. It gives space to think, to rest, to simply be. Walk through it, and you'll see artists sketching, kids chasing bubbles, couples rowing boats, musicians filling the silence with sound. Every path leads to a new moment. From protests to picnics, concerts to quiet walks, the park has seen the full range of human emotion. Joy, grief, love, change. It's not just a park, it's a part of the city's soul, because no matter how loud life gets, Central Park is always here, waiting, holding space, a breath in the chaos. Number 3, Times Square, the city that never sleeps. Day or night, it glows. Times Square isn't just the center of New York, it's the heartbeat. Fast, loud, alive. Once known as Longacre Square, it was renamed after the New York Times moved its headquarters here in 1904. Since then, the lights never really went out. This is where Broadway meets business, where flashing billboards and giant screens light up the streets like daytime, where a million footsteps echo through every hour. During the Great Depression, during war, during celebration, Times Square stood lit, a symbol that New York keeps moving. It's where people gather to celebrate the new year, watching the ball drop in a tradition over 100 years old. It's also where people come to feel something bigger than themselves. Actors hand out flyers, characters pose for photos, music plays from every corner. It's messy, crowded, and overwhelming, and somehow, that's what makes it perfect. Because in Times Square, you feel part of something constant, a city that never stops, a moment that never ends. It's not just lights, it's life. And it never sleeps, because dreams don't wait for morning. Number 2, Brooklyn Bridge, walk between worlds. It stretches over the East River, linking Manhattan to Brooklyn. But the Brooklyn Bridge connects more than just two boroughs, it connects time. When it opened in 1883, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world, a miracle of steel and stone. People were afraid to cross it at first, so they brought elephants across, just to prove it was safe. It was built by hands that never saw it finished. John Roebling designed it, but died before construction began. His son, Washington, took over, and when illness left him unable to leave his bed, His wife Emily carried his instructions across the site every day. This bridge was built with grit, love, and sacrifice. Today, millions walk across it every year. Tourists with cameras, locals with coffee, joggers, dreamers, everyone moving between two parts of a city, and aware they're walking through history. Steel cables above, water below. Cars rush by, but up on the walkway, everything slows down. You see the skyline, you feel the wind, you become part of something bigger. The Brooklyn Bridge isn't just a way to get from one place to another. It's a reminder that even the impossible can be built, one step at a time. Number 1. Statue of Liberty, a promise in the harbor. She doesn't speak, but her message is clear. Standing tall in New York Harbor, the Statue of Liberty has welcomed millions, not with words, but with light. Gifted by France in 1886, she was a symbol of friendship and freedom. But over time, she became more than that. She became a promise that no matter who you are, or where you come from, hope has a place here. For immigrants arriving by sea, she was the first thing they saw. A giant figure, rising through the mist, holding a torch that seemed to say, "You're not alone anymore. You've made it." She's made of copper, but her heart is human. In her silence, she's carried the weight of dreams, struggles, and the deep need to belong. Today, planes fly instead of ships. We arrive with phones, not suitcases tied with rope. But still, she stands, still holding that same flame. The world has changed, but the promise she holds hasn't. She's not just a statue. She's a reminder that freedom matters, that dignity matters, and that light will always guide those looking for a new beginning.